Hello, my name is Maria Fritzler, and this is my presentation on the Cultural Differences paper. I'd like to start off by saying that according to DeVito on page 31 of our textbook, the culture consists of the relatively specialized lifestyle of a group of people that is passed on from one generation to the next through communication and not through genes. It's important to understand that culture has an enormous role in how we form our opinions as adults and how we teach our children and how our children form their opinions as adults as well. Additionally, DeVito states on pages 31 and 32 that culture is transmitted from one generation to another through enculturation. This is the process by which culture is transmitted from one generation to another. You learn the culture into which you were born, and this is called your native culture. Parents, peer groups, schools, religious institutions, and government agencies are your main teachers of culture. The two topics that I chose for this paper are: should doctor-assisted suicide be legal, and should sex education be taught in elementary and middle schools, or should it be a matter of the home? Starting with doctor-assisted suicide, in my personal opinion, I think there are certain situations where it definitely should be legal. Speaking from my own personal experience, watching a loved one suffer and die from a terminal cancer is very hard, and it's hard on the patient as well. I think that terminally ill cancer patients should have the right to choose to end their suffering if they so wish. According to an article written by Linnell Smith, a Dr. Quill agrees with me. Quill believes the choice of physician-assisted suicide belongs only to the dying. To guard against abuse, anyone requesting assisted suicide must have a terminal condition with intolerable suffering. The request to die must occur in the context of a meaningful doctor and patient relationship and must persist over time. A psychiatrist must evaluate the patient's judgment is clear, and most important, the decision must be reviewed by a second doctor who has a lot of experience with dying patients. So basically saying that not just anyone can request physician's assisted suicide, there's got to be a reason. So terminally ill cancer patients know that eventually they're going to die, and they often start out just as they were. They're happy, they're not in an insufferable amount of pain. Sometimes towards the end of their life, they do begin to be in a lot of pain. A lot of them lose mental capabilities, and some just wish that the process wouldn't be as long. This is why I think that doctor-assisted suicide should be legal. Because while a patient is still in their right mind, they should have the choice to end their suffering if they wish to. Next, I would like to talk about sex education in elementary and middle schools. Coming personally from someone who had sex education in the 7th grade, I definitely think that it should be taught in schools. I also had the birds and the bees talk with my parents, so I also think that it should be something a part of home. According to Byers, attitudes toward and experiences with sexual health education, SHE for short, at school and at home were assessed in a sample of 745 middle school students enrolled in grades 6 through 8 in New Brunswick. Students were in favor of sexual health education at school at 93%, that's a lot, and the majority of 69% of students agreed that schools and parents should share the responsibility. Almost all students thought SHE should start in middle school or sooner. I agree with this. In conclusion, religion and your cultural upbringing and your parents have a lot to do with how you form your opinions. And that's how I formed my opinions growing up and through personal experience. I mean, that's how we get our opinions. So I think that doctor-assisted suicide should be legal, and I do think that students should have sex education in middle school. Thank you so much for your time.